Welcome to Allie's Attic Show, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a gentleman that is not only talented, he's just an amazing human being. I've met him through a streaming app called UpLive. He is an amazing artist, you guys. I love him. Please welcome that music dude. Hi!
What up? What up? What up?
How's it going?
Just living the dream.
Living the dream.
Living life with its ups and downs, trials, and all that jazz.
Exactly. Okay, so you're in LA.
I am.
And obviously you're a musician. You, like I said, you broadcast on UpLive and you perform. You're also on Instagram. That's where I went and listened to your music, and I fell in love, and that was it. I needed to have you on my show. So Tyler, tell me, I keep saying that. Okay, that music dude. Tell me, Tyler, but that music dude, either or. Tell me, what got you started on this crazy journey, and tell me about all the ups and downs, all in between.
Jeez, man, where do I begin? When I started in the industry, or just
when you started? When did you decide that you wanted to do music for the rest of your life?
Well, growing up, I never had any moral support from my family. I didn't have a mom or dad. I was adopted by an aunt and uncle that tried to force me to be what they wanted me to be, and I always felt different. I've always stood out, but I never could pinpoint what it was. And I would always, when I was in school, I would sit down and I'd write rap lyrics and stuff. I had no music or anything. I didn't know about playing guitar or anything at the time. And I always just loved doing it. I always loved music. Anytime I'd be super pissed off or whatever, just how I felt. It was that. It was that thing that I could go to calm me down. Because it's when you're being abused constantly every day, mentally, physically, just being bullied in school. It's you need something to reflect on besides just doing the count to 1, 2, 3 and calm down kind of thing, and music always had that for me, because there was just different genres. And being a Gemini, it's you get bored really quick with certain things if it's not entertaining and appealing. So I found that listening to music really caught my eye and started writing. Oh, I gotta turn this notification thing off. That was probably loud as hell, I guess. Anyway, so with that, I was in choir. I would do the choir thing, and I was really, really small, and I loved singing, and I still had no moral support from my family and stuff, but I didn't care because it was just what I loved to do. And I was the only guy that could sing so high. You remember that song "Hero" by Mariah Carey?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was the only guy or only boy that could sing that high and sing that song, and I just really took a liking to doing music, but I never really put myself out there until it was about what did you say? I mean, I put myself out there being a choir and stuff, and that was 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, going through that. But then also there was just that spin, trying to find myself, get involved with the gothic scene or the jocks and being a gangster and trying to be kicked in to fit into that crowd, because my sister's always attracted these boyfriends that were all into that lifestyle. And that's another thing why I liked rap. And then it was who I was surrounding myself around, it was starting to reflect from the music I would listen to. And then I started to develop myself as throughout the years with the music that I was listening to, and then the people I would surround myself around. And then something that really caught my eye was I had a neighbor that was playing guitar, and it was about when I want to say I was 12, 13 years old. And I felt pulled towards it. And so I would ask him, I'm like, yo, how do you play this? Like, this is really cool. And he would show me like some like, I had no idea what was really going on, but I was like watching him and stuff, and it was just very appealing to me. Also, growing up, my family, they had a piano in like the I guess you'd say spare bedroom, and I would always like tinker on it. And every time I touched the keyboard, they'd be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up," So I'm just like, it was like I wanted to express myself, but I didn't know who to express myself to. So I got into like different crowds, different things. I started doing skateboarding. I was becoming pro at that, and then I felt that I didn't have their support. So all I ever wanted was that moral support, that notoriety, to be able to be like, "We love you, we accept you for who you are." I never had that, and so it was like, so I went on this journey after the fact of not knowing my dad, and I dropped out of sophomore year. The end of sophomore year? I dropped out, and I went to go meet my father for the first time. I never had met him, and it was like I started to learn new things, and it was like, how everything's in synchronicity. It's like certain things happen, and then it's like, what's going on here? So it's like I've never played guitar before, but yet my neighbor had a guitar, but I still didn't have a guitar. And then I wanted to learn how to play guitar. Then my family got me a guitar for Christmas, and I was determined to learn, and I carried that thing everywhere. Like, I had a shoestring, and it was attached to around my back or whatever, and I would carry it everywhere I went, and I loved it, and it just was attracting different people, and then when I met my father for the first time, he had he had this girlfriend, and her daughter's boyfriend had electric guitar, and I don't know, it really attracted to me, to where after I was learning from that guitar, I was learning from that guitar. So it was like things were starting to pull me towards that direction. And as I got into my 20s, that's when I started to realize I had something going on with music. I mean, I knew that it was like here and there, but it's like you don't know what you don't know until you know. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I had all this musical like inspiration around me, but I just really didn't know. Am I cutting out? I don't know.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Awesome. So I really had no idea what I was even doing. I had no influences other than being silent or meeting people here and there. They would teach me things here and there. And so, anyways, like when I turned 20, that was when it started to really hit me. I had met this Christian girl, and then I had met this Christian crew, and then I was invited to because I start learning, and I was really determined by this time. They invited me to go do help lead worship, so I did. I really liked what I was doing, and I played the music. And it was funny because I'd be like the background, and I'm like trying to be the show off. And even though they got my guitar turned way down, so nobody could hear me. And it was new to me, because when you see growing up being Catholic, then going to a Christian church, and you see all these people that are worshiping this God that I never knew anything about, and I was thinking, oh my God, people are gonna care about how I play, if I screw up like this. It was like I was overthinking it. But my roommate at the time that I was doing music with at the church and stuff, he would always tell me, he's like, yo, you don't have to worry, just let God guide you, and and I didn't know what any of that meant. It was totally alien to me. Mm-hmm. But it was like everything was being synchronized with all together. And then in the mix of that, I met the first girl that ever took actual interest into me, that was authentic and was full of unconditional love. And her whole family played guitar. I mean, not just guitar. They played the drums. They actually had a family band. It was but it was the kids, and we all just synchronized. And I remember writing a song for her. It was my very first time, and then, as you know, you write a song for the one you love, then your heart gets broken, yada yada yada. The spill, how that all works. But that's when I knew I had something, because I remember recording it on a tape deck player, and I gave it to her. I was super excited. She absolutely admired it, and she loved it. And and I felt like I had something there. So throughout the time, obviously, I'm kind of giving a condensed version because I'm a very detailed person. So I'm trying to like stay on the path versus go into this story and then this story and this story kind of thing, you know. But I just I took a liking to writing, like because I felt like I had a knack for it, so I started to write a little more, and then I remember playing at my mom's wedding. It was weird how that whole thing came about, but I remember playing, and it was like a standing ovation when I got done. It was the coolest thing. It was like I felt like a mission was complete. Like I finally had that validation I was looking for, but then at the same time not, because it had me traveling from New York to Florida to Idaho to Utah to like all over the U.S. to like trying to find this thing or whatever it was. Because a lot of people try to find that void in drugs, sex, you know, all like inanimate objects, money. For me, I just wanted to be accepted. And so I would do anything I possibly could to fit in, within reason, of course. Like I wasn't gonna, do illegal stuff, even though I'm sure we all have done illegal things growing up, being rebellious, you know.
Yeah.
F society and all that. But man, it's so crazy because you have a family that tells you, you know, they get you a guitar, then they contradict themselves and tell you you're not going to amount to shit in life, you're going to be an F up your whole life, and I'm just like, okay, how do you deal with that, you know? And finally, after, you know, now being 33 years old, it was last year where I had that breakthrough to have the discussion and the conversation with my aunt and uncle. It was more towards my aunt because she was the one that I resented, and it was holding me back. And I felt like there was a major breakthrough with that, to where now it's like we created the possibility to be able to have a family. They even told me, they're like, we don't even know why we did what we did to you, because you were just, all you want to do is express yourself. And so to wait 32 years to hear that, it sucks, because, you know, I didn't know that I had a codependency issue. So here I am, you know, honestly kissing everybody's ass, trying to fit in with everybody and everything, and this. I even tried the gay thing for a while, thinking because these women treat me like shit, okay, so maybe if I do that, then that's where I'm gonna fit in there. And it was just had me all over the place. And so finally, in 2012, when I moved to LA, so I moved different places, but this is where it really started for me. And I got right when I arrived here, it was that same day. It was on 4th of July, and there was this one dude. His name was Eric Riddick, and he saw me, and I was going in the subway, and as I was going down the escalator or whatever, like he sees me, and you can imagine I had this big old bright like suitcase, and like, yeah, and then my guitar like with me, and the guy's like, yo, I can see you're new here. And I'm like, well, obviously, I mean, yeah. Well, he's like, I don't mean anything like that, I'm just saying. And then he was telling me he's a composer, and I was at the point where I was so ready to like hang out with whoever. I wanted to get connected because I wanted to see where my music would take me. So, you know, I started like talking with him, and he was telling me, yo, I'm about to head to my homegirl, Mickey Shiloh. I didn't know who this chick was. And so I get here and everything, and everybody would tell, like backing up, everybody told me when I was like riding the Greyhound bus to go to North Hollywood. They're like, yo, you need to go to North Hollywood because this is the place where you're gonna connect with people. And you know, when you go to a place where you don't know, it's unfamiliar to you, it's scary, it's nerve wracking. You're just like, but at the same time, I thrived off that risk, that sacrifice, just that adrenaline, because it was like that seemed to be how I lived, because I was used to it. It was easy for me to have a change in my life. You know, a lot of people are uncomfortable with change. For me, it was like a thing that I adapted to, and you know. But anyway, so with that, you know, we were talking and everything, and we were about to go our separate ways and stuff. and I was like, "Yo, I'd love to hang out with you." You know, well, I don't know if you know the whole California thing, but a lot of people I've learned out here, they'll say, "Yeah, let's get together," and they don't mean it. They just say it just to say it to make themselves feel good. I don't know what it is. They don't know how to be authentic.
Okay.
Uh, and for this, it was actually it was real. He was like, "Yo, yeah, we should get together." And then I was getting ready to go the opposite way, or just I had no idea. It was like I was going by faith. I'm like, because I have that in my system, like being the Christian, like the not religious person, but just having those Christian morals and those belief systems of having faith and walking by faith, just like all the 12 disciples did with Jesus. You know what I mean? It's like it's a huge part of my life and in my journey and what's made me become who I am today. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I just push it away, but anyway, so I'm having this space, like, all right, God, like, here I am. All right, universe, here I am. Like, what do? I don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, he gets a call from her, and she's like, hey, what are you doing? You should come over. And then it's like he put me in the mix and played it off like, yeah, my homie, he just flew in from Atlanta. There's some cool people here too. The thing is that it was a white lie. And I'm not a person to lie. Like, so if it made me feel comfortable, but it's like I felt I had to do it just in that space. So I was like, hey, what's up? Yeah, this is yeah, sure. I just rolled with the punches. I just let people step on me. I learned a lot about being out here for sure. And so I walk with him to the place here in North Hollywood. Ironic because I stay nearby there now, so it's weird how that all 6 years later here I am. Mm-hmm. But then with that, it was so weird. It was like serendipitous because when we get to the house and we get ready to knock, like she opens up the door and I felt like I knew her before. It was weird. And it was just so cool because I'd never been around such an environment when I'd opened up the door. Obviously, people were drinking and stuff and partying, but I walk in there, and every room, people were just in their own little element doing music. It still gives me chills just thinking about it because it was like a dream come true. Wow. And then meeting Mickey, and she was just super cool. And I'd tell her my situation without telling her. It was kind of like I had to be how would you say, selective with what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to skip this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I just rolled with the punches. And then little did I know, Mickey Shiloh, she's huge. Like, she's been the one that's written for Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Iggy Azalea, LL Cool J, like all the big artists, like pop artists. Not even pop, it's like there's hip hop, like her dad used to rap with Tupac. But I had no idea who she was until like sharing this. And then as I was at this house where it was like 16 of us living in this house or staying at this house, and it was like everybody kept talking about Wilmer, like yeah, he always comes through and stuff. I didn't know that was Fez from that 70s show. I didn't know that was his actual name, Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah.
And people were telling me, yeah, he comes through here all the time. Like, Mickey and them are like tight. And I'm just like, are you serious? That would be so sick to be there. And then next thing I know, it's just like it happens so quick. Like, things were happening. Like, Mickey took a real big liking to me, and she was inviting me to come to a music video shoot, and I shot a music video with this band at the time. It was called Avery. They were signed by Def Jam, and the manager, he really liked me, so he wanted me to be like in almost all the shots where she was at, because they liked my look. Well, they didn't like necessarily know me, but they liked my look, because I had like the rock look, the mohawk in my hair, the mohawk look, but it was like in my face, kind of like a profile picture on Up Live. And so with that, I go to that, and the next thing I know, I'm being invited to a mansion party, and then I meet the coolest friends still to this day. We've been tight ever since. And I mean, it was so surreal because it was like being at that house, and then it was like limo comes and picks you up and then takes you up to the hill, and you're around all these people that are with Capitol Records, and just what you've always dreamed of happening, and then just having it all around you, just a luxury, this big ass house, and I could read through people because I could see that they're cautious because the way I looked very trash. At the same time with swag, like I had that homeless look, but at the same time it was like a rocker look. So I just yeah, it's just crazy to look at it, look back at it now, thinking about it, and it was just really cool. But this dude name was Jay Marlin, and I mean he's like produced for Will I Am, just all these big artists and stuff. It was like I literally was in it, and it just you know I always share with people, it's like go with your gut. Like right now I'm going with my gut, my situation, being in an accident and stuff like that. It's like I always tell people go with your gut because your gut is not ever going to steer you wrong. Your heart is, and so anyways, that all happened, and then at the time I had a girlfriend. She lived in Florida, and Mickey felt that we were cute because we were like skyping on online and stuff, and we barely knew each other. But she was under the impression that we knew each other for like a year or so. So what does she do? She buys her a plane ticket. She comes out here. Things are smooth. It made good for what was starting to become this production company, transformed into a reality show where Wilma Valderrama was part investor in it, and then Andres Carlson. So it was really cool at the time, like going to the airport, and it was like a perfect like real world, like MTV, like television show kind of thing.
Okay.
The boyfriend girl for me for the first time. It made good for good footage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was all fake, and I just don't do fake. I cannot do fake. It makes me uncomfortable. I started to get really depressed, honestly. And I had a friend at the time, and I'd reached out to her, and I started talking to her, telling her about like how I'm feeling and stuff. And then the girlfriend, she gets jealous because girls being jealous for another girl. But I have a lot of girls as friends, so it's like you gotta deal with it because at the end of the day, you're gonna be with someone like me. It's like it's not that I'm out there to screw these girls. It's just I connect with girls because I can understand them more than I can connect with dudes. Because dudes, I don't know, they like to go to the mall and like talk about if they go to the mall, or they like doing things that I don't get into, like working on cars and all that stuff. It's like it's like I'm that guy or that man, but then I'm also like I have that girl side to me. I think what also altered that was implanted that seed was when I was doing the whole bi curious thing, and I learned how women are looked at as or how women are looked at when a man is like trying to always hit on them and just like look at them as a sex symbol. And so like for me it's like I was able to understand that, so it like changed even my perspective to not be like a typical guy. But anyway, so I feel like all those things helped too, because even being it was called the APD house that we were all at. It was like 16 of us. It wasn't like a big house either, but it was really cool. It was like, how they say opportunities never come knocking on your door. I would literally be like sitting at the table, and every single person that came through that door was affiliated in the industry, and not talking about just like Joe Schmo kind of thing. It was like the elite of the elite. I had like A&Rs coming in, and it was artists that have written for big artists and just big artists in themselves. There was an artist that was signed by P. Diddy. His name was King Lois. Like he came in there. It was so surreal, but it was like taking that big sacrifice and that risk and doing that opened up that door. And I sometimes look back and wonder, what if I just kept my mouth shut and didn't tell Mickey that how we had met, how I had met Eric. If I didn't tell her the truth, where would I have been today? But at the same time, I don't think it would have been much further, because at the same time, she was young. She was like 19, 20. No, she was 21, I think, or turning 21. And it was just like, I believe it was just a lesson to be learned, being in this industry, learning about being authentic. And when an opportunity comes your way, no matter what anybody says, just be straightforward with them, because it makes you have like a clean conscience versus, you know, living a white lie, the depression kicking in, and then you're just like, you know. And I thought for me being authentic was gonna help the situation. That actually sabotaged everything in such a way. Like, Ali, it was crazy. I remember because Nikki at the time, she had her own thing with anxiety and depression and stuff like that. So I thought that I can be real with her, and she played it off like everything was cool, you know. And then next thing I know, she's like avoiding my texts and stuff like that. But also being codependent, I feel like I scared her away because I was like the clingy person. Whenever I'm into somebody, I'm like I want to know them or I want to like get as close as I can to them because it's just what a codependent does.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know, I told her what I told her. She was avoiding my calls or text or whatever. Next thing I know, I'm being called and told, hey, we need to like all have a meeting. And I thought it was like all of us discussing something, but it was actually like to put me. You imagine like 16 people all in a circle and cameras all around you, and then I'm in the middle, and they're like literally like just telling me, they're like, so after much discussion with everybody, we feel that it's best for you that you need to leave. I mean, you do not leave now, but in about a month's time, like you need enough time to get things situated. I was just like, oh man, it was crazy because then that's when it really started for me, this dark journey, but yet an adventurous journey.
Mm-hmm.
Because from there it was like the girlfriend was good, as it would seem. She had the place. I'm sure she was throwing me under the bus and be like, "Yo, he cheated on me" and stuff. I'm just like, she wasn't all mentally there though, because it's like I wasn't cheating on anybody. My whole thing is I needed someone to be there with me, and my friend was, and she's just a very jealous person. She was young too. I was young, 27. What if she was like 19 or whatever? And I don't know. I attracted the younger girls. So I guess that's what rock stars do. I guess.
I guess that seems to be the trend. Yeah.
I don't know if any of all this is making sense because I feel like sometimes I'm jumping from one thing to another, trying to fit it all together.
Okay, I'm going to break it down, basically, just from listening to you, okay? So, you didn't grow up with your real parents. You grew up with your aunt and uncle, and they weren't very nice to you.
Hell no.
And then you didn't feel like you fit in anywhere. And then you found music, and music allowed you to fit in. And then you ended up in this situation when you went to Hollywood, right? North Hollywood. Surrounded by all these people that were in the industry, and I mean you were just kind of like dumped in there, and you went there not the way you wanted to. It was under false pretenses, and you decided because you don't like you. I mean I know you, Tyler. You want to be truthful, and you want to be you want to be you, and when you finally told them exactly what happened, they kind of turned their back on you. So then once again your codependency is going to kick in, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm getting turned away again. But you got that taste of music and the industry and everything that it could do for you. And then the girlfriend that you were having problems with because she was jealous, because you get along great with females. And I think that's amazing. I mean, I get along better with men than I do with females. So I know totally where you're coming from. Although I do work on cars. But anyways, so now you are, okay, so were you ever like creating music throughout that journey? And like, were you ever discovered?
I was in such a way, but because of the fact of this like codependent issue, it was like I was doing it, but at the same time I wasn't, because I had the girlfriend right there, and I wanted to make sure she was good and spend the time with her, because that was my thing. I always wanted to make sure they were good, not me,
not you.
Them, because I didn't want them to leave me.
Yeah.
Because what had happened growing up, when I was born, my mother abused me. My aunt and uncle abused me, but she like literally, what did she do? She got arrested. I think she was put in prison, and then I was put in foster care. And it's like everybody in my life left me, and that's the codependent fucking like victim thing. Is oh my god, woe is me. They're gonna leave me, but now I don't look at it like that, because I took this course called the Landmark Forum that really helped me learn, well, it isn't necessarily the form. What helped me is being in that program and watching people and their stories, because you get what you get from listening to their stories, and you grasp something from that.
Definitely.
And that's where I've discovered that what we hold on to in our childhood, we bring into our adulthood, that is going to put us in a really rugged place and make us. Well, it's especially with my upbringing, it was like I've been doing this all on my own. So it was like I stayed with families and slept on the streets, eating out trash cans, trying to like fit in. And like when I was in Florida, like Fort Lauderdale was like the coolest experience, but at the same time, it was like I was relying on these people on vacation to like feel sorry for me, like realistically, to take me in and offer an opportunity, and it was just an illusion. Like all of it was an illusion. Mm-hmm. Even coming here was the illusion that if I came here, I'd get discovered because Johnny Depp, it happened to him, and yada yada yada. And you know, it doesn't help that finding out that my birthday is like on the same sign as his, and then people tell me that my acting skills are as good, or if not even better than Johnny Depp's. So it's like all those things and trying to like fit the puzzle of like, okay, good, I'm going to be just like that. But I realized I don't need to be like anybody. All I got to be is my true self. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're all going to go through something.
Yeah.
But that's where I learned that I was being myself. Even without me realizing it, I was being myself by following my gut. And even though it was uncomfortable, and it put me in a dark place, like it literally did, because in that time, it was about this time of year, actually. And it's kind of scary because in my situation now, it's like I don't know what's going to happen because I haven't been able to pay rent, but that's the sacrifice you take for being an artist. Mm-hmm. And, you know, your roommate's taking care of it. He's in Australia, and, you know, him and his son are big old actors. So it's like, it's just like, it's like, when is enough enough? Yeah. You know, but it's like you've just got to keep on going and know that you have that moral support around you, and you can't give up. Well, you know, it's just like Jazz, one of the hosts on Up Live, like he says, you know, you're too blessed to be stressed, and I look at it as like I really am blessed. Mm-hmm. Like if I look at my default picture, my profile picture, I look at like where I'm at. I'm in a legend's house that had passed away, that was a very successful drummer. That's another part of the story too, is like getting signed and then it being a ridiculous deal, but also building connections through that. But my thing is if you look at the profile picture, here I have Grammy Awards like nominations like behind me, and I'm sitting there playing guitar, writing, and it's just like, you can do anything you truly want. All you got to do is be willing and not stand in your own way and be open to when an opportunity comes. I mean, use discernment, but also don't just shut it down, you know? And I didn't. Any opportunity to come my way, I would always be like, yeah. But now I've learned to discern which opportunities I'm going to take. You know, this opportunity with the ADD crew and everything, it taught me a lot. It really, really did teach me a lot. And it also, I mean, it probably was wrong on my end, but like I straight out told everybody, I said, you guys are fake, like you fake SOBs, you know, like you're just, you know, they didn't take a liking to that. But at the same time, I'm glad I did what I did, because they need to know that I believe that they didn't know what they didn't know. And now from what I said, it probably planted a seed. They probably don't care, because people in this industry, I've learned doing this Hollywood thing, they're very fake, especially when I drive and Lyft. Like, you see all these people, it's an LA thing. I've seen it in New York as well at times. I've seen it in Florida. I've seen it in Georgia. I've seen it in Idaho. There's so many fake people everywhere. And I realized, like, you just got to stay true to yourself. And from me staying true to myself, you know, it's opened up the doors for this opportunity coming, you know, to be able to, like, be on your show. But, you know, after that happening, it was like that door closed. It was dark at the time, and I had called Jay and hit him up and told him what was going on, because Mickey and him were friends, but at the same time, it was like Mickey was the jealous one over what Jay was doing, because Freddie Wexler, which was the one that manages him, um, they had this thing. It was a production company called The Brain, and so Mickey wanted to start a production called um, ADD. And another thing with the mix of it, and not only was it just towards me being authentic, but also it was Wilmer, Fez, like, he has been acting for so long, but little does anybody know he's been doing music as well, but he never put that out there. Well, Mickey's been doing music for a really long time. They call her Michaela Shiloh. And so with that, you're going to see that bump heads, because here she is. She's been doing this her whole life, letting people know, and she's not going to have somebody come in here and try to take and have all your ideas and try to steal them and this and this and this. So regardless, it wasn't going to work out, because there was ego there was the pride there. Money was no issue. Like they were gonna invest in it. We were gonna have a mansion, like all this stuff. But then, as you learn, it's all conversation till money exchanges hands.
Yeah.
These are the things I've learned. And like another thing is, you could talk your way in, just like you could talk your way out. Meaning that an opportunity could come, people are interested in you, but if you start saying too much, they're gonna fill you, and you just gotta follow that illusion of being a part of this industry. But I wasn't going to, and I haven't, even though at the same time I did for like just a little bit, a month or so, but at the same time I'm like, I'm not gonna that's not gonna cut it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, with that, I stayed with Jay, and for a little bit, and then he was going out of town, and then he left. Like, that's one thing that people can know about me, is that I'm very trustworthy. Like you can leave all the money you want on the counter. I'm not that person to like go steal it, because I believe in karma. Like, I mean, I've stolen from stores and stuff. I mean, we all have done something, like I said.
Yeah.
But I mean, technically you're stealing from somebody, but at the same time, it's like you're not stealing from your own personal friends. You're stealing from, yeah. Anyways, that's a whole other topic.
Okay. So where are you now? Where are you now? Like, I know I have 2 songs of yours. You don't have them anywhere. You do not sell your music. You just do it because you love doing it.
I do, yeah. I mean, I would love to sell my music, but I've always wanted to have like a proper team. I wanted to like do it right. I was putting my EP out there. I did a GoFundMe campaign or whatever it was to raise money so that it can raise the money so that we can do a music video, and then we can do an album and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, I look at it as like, I want to share my music. If people want to donate money, like, I'm not going to put a price to it, but if they want to like donate, that's awesome. Like, that just is amazing. Even on here, it's like, I'm not selling my music. All I am is just getting on here, having fun, good time on Uplive, and in hopes, in such a way, just like I came to Hollywood, in hopes that somebody's going to like me, and in hopes somebody's going to pick me up. That's what I did, and that's where Carlos picked me up as an artist, So it's like, I don't know, I've been in multiple different places. Like, I had got signed, and I was working with, P-Funk, and doing that whole thing, and I went on a mini tour in such a way, and I've lived in and I dated a porn star, and that was crazy. Like, it was insane. It's been, I'm telling you, this shit has been a journey for real. Yeah. Like, it's been an adventure. It's been dark. There's been a lot of drugs, not so much violence, because I usually steer away from that, but there have been some. I was almost murdered. I got involved with a girl that kind of found out she was a heroin addict. Got involved with this dude who's a sociopath and kidnapped her, and it was crazy. Like,
oh my god,
I've had some insane stuff happen.
Yeah. I think we all have, but one of the things I love about you, Tyler, is because, number one, you are genuine. You are a real person. You aren't fake. You don't lie. You don't like lies. And I think that makes a difference no matter what industry you're in. I mean, it might take a while because you're surrounded by all these fake people, but once they start, I don't know, the world's got to change. And I can see indie music kind of taking that change, and they're finally realizing that, genuine singers, songwriters are the way to go. Not these mainstream artists, and there's nothing wrong with these mainstream artists. Don't get me wrong. They are so talented and I wish I could be them, but they're being told by their labels to all sound the same. So it's kind of perpetrating the fakeness. You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to be this way, so I'm going to be this way. Whereas you're you. It's either you take me or you leave me. And that's one of the things I love about you. Because I am the exact same way. Either you like me or you don't. And if you don't, go away. So whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to... If you like me, you like me. If you don't, well, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means that we're not vibing. And
exactly.
we learned what we need to learn. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I've learned that a lot of people have this codependency issue. They hold on to things and grudges and stuff. And realistically, what it is they had something happen to them in their childhood, usually around like 5 years old or maybe younger, that they take into their adulthood and they hold on to for a really long time until finally they realize what they didn't know, they're gonna know because it will pop up, like So, it's been, man, it's
been crazy. And you know what? The weird part is I'm not going to go into my story. I've been abused from the time I was like 4 on. And it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey for me. I'm now at a place where, number one, I've learned how to love myself, which is a big, big thing you have to do. No matter what you're doing, you have to learn how to love yourself.
Thing is, Ali, you definitely gotta love yourself. Like, you know, that whole thing like the whole thing about dyeing your hair rainbow and stuff. I feel like that's a way of like loving yourself by just expressing yourself, because that's your personality. You're equal. You're about equality, and you know, to do something just plain, because you're not a plain Jane, but at the same time you're afraid of what people think of you. It's natural. It's natural, but at the same time, it's like, I don't care what people think about me anymore, because at the end of the day, I always say it like this: when I get done taking a shit, are you gonna wipe my ass for me?
Yeah.
No. So why am I gonna listen to what you have to say if it's not gonna benefit me in some way, shape, or form?
And I'm glad you're there. I'm not 100% there. I don't know if I'll ever be 100% there, and that's just years of being ridiculed and talked down to, and I'm getting there. I'm getting a lot better, but I'm not there.
But Ali, see, it's all about mind power, though. You know, like. You know, so many people, even right now, people are like telling me, "Oh, you better not be sitting on that guitar. You better go out and go get a job. You better like, you know, that you're always on that phone, like on that Uplive thing. Like, you know, what is that doing for you? How much money are you actually making? Like, and I literally feel like a nerd, like Bill Gates, because I'm so into this that it's like I know I'm a huge asset to this company, and I know that I could do big things with it, and meeting a lot of people, so people don't understand what they don't know, so they're gonna bitch and complain about it. But the reality is that it's a super powerful platform, and people don't realize that this is where the music industry is going. Labels ain't doing shit. Like that dude I was just talking to on my stream, he was signed by Capitol. We can't stand being signed to them. Like, I mean, the publicity and stuff's great, but at the same time, there's no money in it. Mm-hmm. You got to have like a huge following to help catapult you. I had a meeting with, it was a, what was it? Was it with Sony Records? He was a vice president of Sony Records. Had a meeting with him, and I talked to him, and I had asked him, what does it take to get signed with you guys?
Yeah.
And he said, well, you got to have a following. It's not about the talent anymore. It's about having that following.
Yeah.
The talent comes with the following.
Exactly.
And it's a number.
Yeah.
And
I'm learning
that's all it is. And that's why social media is where it is.
Where it's at, yeah.
It's going. It's already gone, and it's going to keep going this direction because people are lazy. Yeah. They don't want to go travel to a venue and sit in front of this person and see over their head. They're going to want to see a live show on television, or they're going to want to see that virtual reality. That's a new thing that's coming out. Yeah. The hologram, that's going to be new coming out and stuff. And that's another thing too, is that with who I'm connected to, that's why I got this tattoo and stuff, you know, you being Illuminati in the industry, it's like, it's legit. I know I'm legit. But the thing is, like, I don't get it, because it's like, I am legit, but yet I'm broke. Like, my bank account has like $10 to its name. Literally. Like, I have no idea how my phone bill is going to be paid. But because of the fact of coming from a Christian, belief system of learning about having faith in God, and also knowing about the law of attraction and synchronizing the two, it's like it comes hand in hand. So I know, and I have faith that I'm going to be provided for. and I know that like everything that's recently happened, it's obvious it's happened for a reason. It's also happened because of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's going to be a payoff and a great outcome at the end of it all. And even with this, it's like I still keep in touch with everybody, even though, you know, because I've been around some crazy stuff like credit card fraud and all. Like, we're talking about some real gangster shit that people wouldn't want to talk about. But I'm not afraid to, because it's like I know I'm safe, and if I'm not safe, I'm like, what's the worst gonna happen? I'm gonna die, and when I die, it's like my legacy's left behind. So it's like I really have nothing to fear. Like I've lived it. Like I've almost froze to death being on the streets, like having frostbite, and, or at least it seemed that way, you know. So it's like, you know, almost being chased down and killed. It's like it's definitely a book to write about. But
yeah, and you should. Okay, you're gonna perform for us, right, Tyler?
Am I gonna perform for you?
Yes, you're gonna play a song, That Music Dude. Before I get there, I know. Okay, we've got like, oh God, we've got just about 1,000 people in here. Okay, so does anybody have any questions for That Music Dude before I let him perform and then we let him go, or no? I've been watching you. I haven't been watching this at all, so I have no idea what's going on.
Oh,
does anybody have any questions?
Like,
I think this is cool. I love doing
I honestly feel what would be a highly effective way is interviewing, like you video chatting me on UpLive and me like doing it that way as well.
Yeah.
As well as in like Skype. I don't know. There's like two separate things. So.
There's got it, and you know what? It would be if you could be on yours and I could be on mine, and we do it all in like a continuous circle, and everybody sees everything. That would be cool. So the next time we do this, if we do this again, we're gonna have to figure it out so that you can be on Skype, and then you can be also on UpLive on your device, and I can do it like this, and then yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Is anybody responding? Because usually something I've learned about UpLive is that there's people there, but then that they're not at the same time.
Yeah, and you know what? There's bots on here too. So, does anybody have questions, or you just want to hear him perform?
Who's there? We know.
Jen. Well, my admins are there. I don't know who's all in here. Jen, Joanna, Megan, that amazing backup, and I think that's it. They just want to tell you that you're a very, very strong person. And they really love you. So that's my admins that are saying that. Nobody's got any questions. So if you want to perform your song, you can perform your song, and then I'll let you get going. And thank God you came on my show. I love you. I want you to know that. I absolutely.
Awesome. Like,
I am
this
so
gives me
glad
hope
I met
because
you.
honestly, Ali, like, I for the longest time was afraid to play this guitar, and then when I started doing broadcasting on Live Me. And then when Carlos picked me up as an artist, I was also going through the process of getting ready to go to Landmark, but I also was in a relationship that wasn't going to go anywhere. I think it was just, we met each other, try it out kind of thing. It's like when you go to the store, you try some clothes on, and then you realize those clothes didn't fit you. And, you can appreciate it, but at the same time, it's like it's not for you. But anyway, so it's like when I had recently got back on Live Me, I noticed that Carlos wasn't like responsive, so I Skyped him and I'm like, yo bro, like what's going on? That's when he was at VidCon or in California getting ready to go to VidCon. He was like, hey, come out to VidCon, like I want to talk to you about this app. It's called UpLive. I think that you would really like it. I want to introduce you to the CEO. That's when I met everybody, and I met Natty, and I met Melody, and I met Trix, and I met a lot of people. It was really cool. And then just getting on this app, it's really helped my fear. Like I dig, like literally getting on here and be able to share my music. Sometimes the story pops up and is like, oh, the people have already heard your music. Like how many times you're gonna keep repeating the same songs over and over again? You know, so it's like, yeah, it's a constant battle with yourself. You know, especially like being a Gemini. It's like this battle of like, you're doing good. No, you're not.
Yeah, I do have a question. Jen wants to know if you're looking to work on any projects with other artists coming up in your future.
I do, yes. I'm actually, I don't know if you guys have, no, you guys haven't yet. Yesterday, I just got connected up with and we've been meaning to talk. She's just a very busy girl. With a friend, she lives in Australia. She's a really good singer. I believe she's like become really hella famous. She's worked with like people from The Voice and stuff like that out there. So we had met for the first time via video chat, and we vibe really well. She's a really good voice, and so there's really cool things gonna be taking place. Then who else? Like, I mean, I'm always down for it. I know that I'm gonna be together with Giselle. I know I'm gonna be doing stuff with her. It's just waiting after this competition because it kind of be like I don't know. I guess you'd say conflict of interest. Maybe I don't know.
Exactly.
There would be so you have to wait till that's all finished. Who else? Like, there's Meg Dick. Like, we're gonna get together. That's not necessarily towards music. That's more because I also do vlogging too. So, we're gonna do some funny stuff there. Because I mean, that tripped me out when I just figured out her dad is Andy Dick, and I guess a lot of people don't know that. I think that she just keeps that. Huh?
I didn't know that till just now.
Yeah, like she likes to keep that.
She
doesn't really talk about it. She just speaks her stuff, but she's super funny, and I know that her personality, my personality, and like we getting on the camera together, it's going to be a big ball of hilariousness. I think. I'm planning, or it's been said that in Eugene, Oregon, I'm planning on performing out there with George Clinton. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. Hello.
Okay. Well, okay, so seeing the fact you know who George Clinton is, then that's where I said when I was signed to P-Funk, his personal assistant, Sonny Cool, picked me up as an artist, and I got signed with him. That contract's like over, but we still get together. Like I performed with Bootsy's son, Louis Collins, and Bonnie Pointer. Like, you look at my Facebook pictures, I have all that stuff there. With the Instagram, like, I've been back and forth with like what I've posted, because I have like a ton of fans that have like the fan pictures, and I'd had it up there. But then I started doing this whole anti-bullying thing, so it was like I kept going back and forth because I wanted to be able to synchronize my music with the whole anti-bullying thing and being a youth advocate. But it's just like I just needed to take a step back and be like, okay, let's figure this shit out.
Well, I want to talk to you about bullying, about my Allie's Awareness Avenue, because I'm having I'm having a show about bullying, not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. I'd love to have you on. Okay, so perform your song for us, please, That Music Dude, so everybody can understand why I am like in love with your music. Not just you, but your music.
Ask them what song they want to hear.
Okay, what song do you guys want to hear? Is there any requests that you want to hear from That Music Dude?
I remember Megan saying she wants to hear the...
What did you want to hear, Megan? Yeah, she's not answering. Hang on. Hang on. Yes, but you forgot the name. All right, then. She forgot the name of the song.
Megan, she knows what I'm talking. Yeah, she knows it. I'll just play that song.
Whatever he wants to play. Brendan's saying play whatever you want to play. And just so everybody knows that when I put this up on my website, I'm also broadcasting this on UpLive, which is the streaming app that I'm on. So that's why I'm talking about stuff. Okay, here he goes.
Yeah, this song's called I've Liked You. I think I'm about to change the name, though. Because I don't know, Megan said something, walk with you or something. I don't know. Anyway. I've liked you for a really long time. When you walk by, gives me butterflies. I've liked you for a really long time. The color of your skin and the color of your eyes. I've liked you for a really long time. When I dream, I look at the sky. I've liked you for a really long time. I can tell it you before you even walk by. Will you be my best friend? I promise I won't take much of your time. You said you got a boyfriend and I said that's just fine. Cause I don't want anything other than your friendship. Maybe they do, but I don't want that type of shit. It's inappropriate, I don't want to contradict. The thing that gets to me is how you are rejected to a dick. Maybe it's love, maybe conversation. All I want to know is why you make those decisions. I'm sick and tired of seeing you cry every time you walk by. Oh, I miss that beautiful smile. Oh, I know, I know, I know, oh, oh, I know, I know, I know, oh, oh, I know, I know, I know, it's been a little while. I can take you to places that you've never been. I don't wanna be a boyfriend, just your best friend. You could put me to the test, I know that I can pass it every time. Cause I know what I want. No hidden agenda, wish that I could friend you. I'm a mix of motives, but I got something to tell you. I've got a secret, promise you won't speak it. And if I tell you, promise that you keep it. I've liked you for a really long time. When you walk by, gives me butterflies. I've liked you for a really long time. The color of your skin and the color of your eyes. I've liked you for a really long time. When I dream, I look at the sky. I've liked you for a really long time. I can tell the truth before you even walk by. Nervous conversation, I feel like I'm shaking. I'm so high, like a high elevation. I can feel it in the air, such frustration. The fighting goes on and you have a separation. Paper thin walls, don't lie, don't lie. If they can speak, then they speak their mind. Paper thin walls, don't lie, don't lie. If they can speak, then they say it's alright. I'm sitting on the sidelines waiting for you. I know one day my dream will come true. To have a girl that is beautiful as you, chilling on a beach in nice swimsuits, living in a condo. Hey, in Redondo Beach, babes. You don't have to worry, cause everything's gonna be okay. I've liked you for a really long time. When you walk by, gives me butterflies. I've liked you for a really long time. The color of your skin and the color of your eyes. I've liked you for a really long time. When I dream, I look at the sky. I've liked you for a really long time. I can tell it you before you even walk by. I've liked you, yeah, I've liked you. 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 Hey.
Very good. Okay, so Tyler is going to be up on my website. He's going to be on YouTube. He's going to be on Spreaker. He's going to be on Mixcloud along with 2 of his songs. You can find Tyler on UpLive. You can go to your App Store, Google Play, iTunes, whatever the case may be. Download it. Do you have a special link for people to download for you?
Download? I mean, like there's YouTube. I mean, I have a SoundCloud, but
no, I mean for UpLive. Did UpLive?
The thing is like with me, you know, in this mix of like battling depression, anxiety, like most of us do, you know, I'm just stepping into my element of really enjoying what I do. So now that I'm getting there, it's like everything's starting to like progress and grow, you know. So, yeah, but I have the YouTube. You know, everybody come check me out on UpLive. I'm always on and sharing my music and love connecting with people. I don't put myself in a box, so it's not that I'm non-accessible, even though I am a pretty private person. But yeah.
Okay, so download UpLive, you guys. You have to get on and check out that music, dude. Make sure anybody that's in here, make sure you're following him, please. I will let you know when everything's up on my website and everywhere else it's going to be.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
And
cool.
Yeah, I've had a lot of, it's been a blast. And I mean, you say you're a private person, but you just shared a lot of like intimate details about your life and everything that you've gone through. And hats off to you. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing what you did. I appreciate it. And I am so glad that I met you. You have no idea. And I wish you all the best. And I hope this, propels you as well. And I've got tons and tons and tons of music producers and managers and, I mean, artists, like huge artists that won't come on my show, but tune into it. So hopefully, that might help as well. But just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being you. Tight. Yeah, right? Exactly. You're going to have to, if somebody contacts you because of me, you got to let me know.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We're going to be kicking it. You and your rainbow hair.
Exactly, rainbow hair. Purple one, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you hear my new contest? My new contest to see what I'm going to get pierced?
Oh, you're going to do piercings, huh?
Yeah, it's either my eyebrow, here on my lip, my lower lip, or my nose. Those are the only ones. I'm not picking anymore. There's nobody telling me anymore. Those are the only ones. But yeah, you have to send a gift that's worth 50 diamonds or more. It's all on I've got a new poster, but that's my newest contest. But anyways, I'm going to talk to you about the bullying thing, get you to come on.
Awesome.
And
I was going to ask you, Ali, how did you come up with these ideas for these like competitions? Like,
I'm just insane.
Like,
I'm just nuts, and I don't care, and I'll put myself out there and let people decide what color my hair is going to be, where I'm going to get pierced. I don't care. I mean, obviously there's not going to be body items on there that I don't want, but I just find it makes them. I don't sing, Tyler. I don't play an instrument. I'm on Up Live because I do believe in the company too. I believe it's going to go far. I mean, it already has. I mean, it's huge. I love the people on there. I love that there's no drama. So it's an app that I really like. And I was asked to come on it, which is like a huge compliment for me, but I have to do something that's going to entertain people, right? And I have a hard time. I mean, as a paid host, you have to ask for gifts. Well, I have a hard time doing that. So if I do a contest...
Yeah, I don't ask for gifts. Like, I just play.
Well, well, that's because you play, right?
That's
because
the same
you're
thing.
entertaining
It's the same thing with me asking for like money for an album or something. It's just like I'll make music. I'll record it for those people that want to pay, I guess.
Yeah. That's about it.
I don't know.
That's why I do a contest, because they're taking part in something that's kind of cool, because I'm getting it done live. The piercing's getting done live at the end of the month. So not only do they get to choose where it's going to be, they get to watch me go through excruciating pain. And I hate pain, so it's going to be awful, and I'm going to cry. I can guarantee it. So it's just my form of entertainment.
Oh, say that bad. I got a bunch. So
I know you got a bunch. Yeah, well, I don't. Anyways, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on my show. I mean, I'm going to be talking to you probably like within the next half hour or so. But anyways, I love you. Keep being you. And I can, like you said, everything manifests itself for a reason. And this did. And you are. And you're going to go places. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love you.
It means a lot.
Okay.
Love you too.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Hang on. Wave to everybody. Say bye.
Hey.
Make sure you're following that music, dude, everybody. All right, you guys. See you guys later, and I'll see you later. I'm going to end my broadcast on Up Live, and then I'm going to talk to Tyler really quick. Everybody, make sure you're following that music, dude, and everybody, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully my admins can catch me up on everything that happened while I was in here. And Melody, thank you for coming in. And he is Amazeballs. Melody thinks you're Amazeballs. Okay, bye.
I love Melody. She's here.
Hang on. No, she's not here right now. When you were singing, she came in and said Amazeballs. Melody, you're not here anymore, right? No, she's not. She's gone. But she said that you're Amazeballs. Okay, bye guys.
I love her. She's so awesome.
I know, she's amazing. She's going to come on my show. Okay, and thank you for joining me on Ali's Attic Show. This was a crazy episode. You're going to probably get a few more where I'm interviewing people from Up Live live while I'm broadcasting on Up Live, and then pre-recorded, so you guys are going to hear all kinds of crazy things. You do not know what's going on, but that's what's going on. Please download the app. I've put my link up there so you guys can use that, and you can find more amazing people like that music dude that are on the app. And everybody have a great day, and remember, you never know what kind of surprises you're going to find in my attic. Cheers.